Wonderlik met trots aan die gebring deur Wild&Jag, jou alles in een bron tot die Wild&Jag bedryf. Welkom by Wild&Wonnerlik. Ons bring vir jou 'n lusmaker van Februarie se uitgawe van Wild&Jag en ons begin ook hierdie week 'n nuwe gesprek en ons gesels met Arthur Rudman, Wildbedryf Suid-Afrika se wildboer van die jaar vir 2016. In die volgende Wild&Jag, met trots geborg deur Safari Outdoor, Africa's premier outfitter of outdoor, leisure and hunting equipment. If you love pigs and hunting pigs as much as Yoko LaRue, the article Hunting the Warthog is one that you cannot miss out on. Yoko has had all kinds of encounters with these animals and gives insight on how to approach such a hunt. Read the story in the February edition. New Zealand farmers have utilized their red deer into a profitable income, producing game meat and harvesting velvet. In February's Game and Hunt, Orchu Erasmus urges game farmers to think out of the box and to understand the fine balance between game farm running costs and making a profit out of game. Wild&Jag tydskrif is beskikbaar by jou naaste supermark. Jy kan ook inteken en dit per pos ontvang of lees dit digitaal op jou selfoon of tablet. Teken jy in op Wild&Jag, staan jy 'n kans om die Primosprys ter waarde van R3000 te wen. In gesprek met is aangebring deur Barlow World Toyota.
And the winner is Arthur Rudman and family, Blauwkrans Safaris, Eastern Cape.
We visited Blauwkrans Safaris close to Kirkwood in the Eastern Cape to talk to Arthur Rudman.
I'm an Eastern Caper. I was born in the Eastern Cape. I was born in Uitgawe. Spent all my life on Blauwkrans and went to school in Uitgawe at Muir College, actually the oldest school in South Africa, 1822. And after I matriculated at Muir College, I then went to obviously citizen force service for 9 months, and then came farming in 1963. And I farmed ever since with my dad and brother on the farm. And I always enjoyed obviously game and wildlife and the whole farming scene. We farmed with Angora goats, moe farming, and that was my passion. In fact, at school, when my friends, when they went on holiday, went to various places, and they used to invite me out, but my holiday was Blauwkrans. I wanted to be on the farm. And I enjoyed hunting dussies as a youngster and always be part of the whole farm scene. That was my life. And after I matriculated and did my service, the farm was my scene. That and sport. I played cricket for Eastern Province, and I played rugby and squash and tennis. So I enjoyed those parts of life as well. Got married in 1970 to Trinette, and she from a farm as well. And in 1976, my father retired. But prior to his retirement, I said to him, I think we should introduce game onto the farm, more game than what we had. At that stage, we had 4 species. And I said, we should introduce more game. He said, son, it does not pay. In those days, in 1970s, there was no international hunting in the Eastern Cape, number one. Number two, the South African hunters never paid for their game. So if it doesn't pay, it doesn't stay. So the result is that we have to thank the international hunters, in fact, for they have been the biggest conservationists, really, because they put a value on the animals, and because there's a value in the animals, you're obviously running a business with your normal domesticated animals, so you have to get a return if you want to go into game farming as such. And as the years went by, game farming became more and more profitable. There was more income attached to it, and then we introduced more game, and initially it was to protect the animals. You know, in 1970 game numbers and kudu numbers, also severe drought at that stage, 1970 drought, that the local government divisional council those years, they closed the hunting season for 3 years because kudu numbers and game numbers had dwindled to such an extent. Our game numbers dropped down to in the region of about 400 or 500. And then I enclosed an area just to protect our kudu. Many farmers, neighbors, etc. was putting out feed, mainly oranges, and drawing out the kudu. That was one of the depression periods in our game farming. Not only game farming, in our farming, because we had low prices and we had the drought that also gave us non-production. So, resulting many farmers shot game and started selling the meat. I enclosed an area of about 4,000 hectares, and in doing so, to protect, at that stage in 1970, we had just got married, obviously no children, but for future, for my children to see game and to see kudu, we enclosed just to protect our Eastern Cape kudu. And it went off so well that the game numbers increased dramatically, that today we've enclosed 40,000 hectares. And we've got about 10,000 head of game today.
In our next episode with Arthur Rudman.
The 1970s, we had a drought and low prices. However, I did believe that we should enclose to protect our kudu, which we did. Obviously, the game numbers increased dramatically. We enclosed it even further, and now we've got 40,000 hectares enclosed. So we started off by having South African hunters, then having corporate hunters, and then inviting other outfitters to come and hunt here. As my sons were still at school at that stage, that was in the 1980s. And very important part is that you probably mustn't be too small. You can't hunt with international hunters on a postage stamp.
Hou ons webtuiste WILD&JAG.TV dop vir nuwe nuus oor die Wild&Jag bedryf. Moet ook nie vergeet van ons sosiale platforms soos Facebook en Instagram nie. Wild&Jag gaan vir jou baie opwindende dinge bring in 2017. Tot volgende keer, totsiens.